Yeah, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to our broadcast. I'm your host, Eckstein, and this is going to be some Russian Highlander League Season 3. We've been watching the Open Division. Covered a little bit of mid, I think. There were some discussions about it. Either way, we saw both of the semifinals, and now we are here in the grand finals. And yes, I said we because it's me, myself, you guys, and Jake Awadi. How you doing, Jake?
Hey, I'm so excited to be watching this, especially that soon we're going to be going to Moscow with the Crisscross crew, and I'm going to be casting some actual Russian talent, so there's no better situation for us to really kind of get in the mood of things and show off the amazing Russian community in front of us.
Yeah, exactly. And I had to back out of that Moscow trip. I was really sad about that. That's why I've guilt tripped myself into casting this stuff. But also been in discussion with some other people. I got a sneak preview. A guy put together a documentary series of interviews with Russian community members. There's going to be an English subversion of that floating around eventually as well. Great camera work, so I'm excited to see that. I'm excited for you and the Chris Cast crew to be there at Moscow Land. I'm gonna try to tune in, that's for sure. And the Russians have a great history of TF2. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they do. Namely, I think one of the most notable members of that community is Shadowburn. He used to play at the top levels of Highlander and Sixes. He used to be the best player in terms of TF2 in Europe overall. There was no one else just quite like him, and he moved on to Overwatch, I believe, and he made a career out of that. So it's a melting pot of talent, and I'm just super excited that we get to see more of it, because we used to see quite a bit of it in ETF2L in the form of Kitty's Bakken Vardami, in UGC as well. There was Wasp before. I'm sure you remember Wasp, kind of half Russian, half Ukrainian team, but now we get to see pretty much only Russian players showing what they've got. So it's going to be an interesting match for sure, especially on a map that I have never seen before, which is CP Kalinka.
Yeah, I watched this the other day. We had a pretty exciting best of 3, and basically how it worked out was King of the Hill, instant reactions were kind of struggling on that one. They couldn't quite get their strategy together, and they just lost. And then all of a sudden we got to payload, and they just completely turned it around. And then it took us to the third map, Kalinka, and they actually just kind of steamrolled their defeated opponents. So it was a quick one, and it was kind of hard to judge the map in some senses. But it seems pretty wide, seems pretty flexible for Highlander. Kind of a short distance between mid and second, it felt like, though. So, kind of momentum-based. But we'll see how it goes with these two teams that are maybe a little bit closer.
Yeah, and of course we've got to tell a little bit about how this is going to work, because this is the finals, so people kind of get to ban and pick some maps. So I'm just looking up some translations of the team names, because obviously there is the language barrier, but I'm going to try to bring it in. Yeah, so there's Saizo. It's Saizo 17. Currently, I do believe they're inhabiting the blue side, whereas the red side is Instant Reaction, and they've done a little bit of bans and picks. And I think first map was Saizo's ban on Boundary Final 1. It's another map that's kind of unplayed, really, in European Highlander.
Yeah.
Maybe more so in the Russian one, but I'm just kind of curious how this map really looks. And Instant Reaction picks Kalinka, which is this map, very much a Russian themed map. I mean, if you just fly around the map, you can see so much Cyrillic language around it, and there's just so many nice little nice little references, even posters just directly reference some of the ones from history. So it's really cool to see that. There's Saizo picking Badwater Pro, the updated version of Badwater, banning Koth Asheville. Instant Reaction banning Product and picking Barn Blitz. Banning Instant Reaction was Edifice RC1, another one of those new maps. And then we'll see how it goes. We'll see if we get through all 3 maps, or is it just going to end at 2? I'm not quite sure. Is this Saizo versus Instant Reaction? And you said you watched Instant Reaction before, so what do you think that's going to turn out, as we're apparently readying up?
Well, like I said, they've unreadied, unfortunately. See, we're so close. Both teams actually had fairly strong performances in their semifinals, so that kind of makes me excited here. It wasn't the case of one team looking like they were super better than the other team, and then the other semifinal being a close match where you sort of kind of worry what the skill distribution is. I did really like Instant Reaction. Like I said, I thought that they had some problems though, in terms of their strategy and kind of keeping Shito up on the King of the Hill map. So Asheville is not really too out there. You know what I'm saying, right? Like that's a pretty straightforward map. So there's a bit of back of my mind. I'm like, if you guys are struggling on Asheville, that sort of just makes me worried overall of like how prepared or how composed of a team you are. So I think it might go to the best of the best of 3, the final map. My anticipation would be that both teams will be feeling pretty strong on their map. Instant Reaction, a very strong performance on Kalinka last time, and they picked it again here, so they're feeling good about at least getting this first map on the board.
Yeah, so we're apparently reading up. Let's hope this is the actual one, and I do believe this is. Both teams are readied up. This is CP Kalinka version RC5 between Instant Reactions and Sizo 17. Sizo for short, as we're going to be looking at the first mid-fight of this game. And of course, we're going to be watching Papoy Elite and then the demo Ints for the red team. So let's see how it goes out.
Yeah, they both kind of take similar sides. Right now, Ints, though, a little bit more isolated overall, the red demo man, and that is Instant Reaction on the red. He will get taken down eventually, though, as the Scout and Soldier push into them. And it's kind of a, like I said, this is a very wide mid, so kind of a slow engagement, but the Scout and a Soldier are able to get around from Sizo 17. A very nice flank there.
Yeah, little Niar here is just kind of healing up. He has that advantage because the other medic has died in that engagement. Weetabix as a spy main here behind. He's looking for a kill onto Exe Red, but that's probably pretty much the only thing that's going to happen. And it does just like that predicted. But the second point also goes the way of the blue team, blue being Sizo, and they're still pushing onto the red team. Uber's coming out of Little Niar. He's just focusing on the heavy right now. I believe he's Catman. He's just using a different name. I'm not quite sure. Might be mistaken there. Here's Glory just coming in and taking down Clav, and then so Heavy goes down as well. And Yar escapes with Papoy, but that engagement is lost for the blue team. Seems that Red is able to stabilize themselves onto last, but I don't know for how long.
Yeah, only 3 players up here. The Demo Man down low. Shioto trying to pick away with arrows from the side. The Demo Man for blue team actually a little freaked out here. Little Nayar doesn't really commit. They both get taken out, and that actually turned into an excellent defense for Instant Reactions. And they're also going to instantly push forward here. La Magician trying to get on the capture and finish it off, and will be able to do so, which is pretty helpful here. They don't have to worry about back caps. Question is whether they'll be able to hold the second point. Spy can't get a stab on the Soldier, or the heavy weapons guy, and actually that goes both ways for both teams.
So far, a little bit of a slowdown going for both sides. Red team has advantage, although this is crit streak onto Shioto right now. So he'll be looking to get that opening kill, maybe two with that crits is very important. He needs that demo with him, though. Ints is now rejoining the medic, and they're going to kind of hang back. They lost the second point, but I think they have the advantage. They just need to use it properly. They're going from the flank right now, from the side, with Kisri, and then Glory kind of leading the way, scoping out the area, seeing what's happening. He doesn't see that many enemies, but there is a demo man. They're going to be able to catch him off guard. Uber's coming out, or Crit Streak. Kumis is falling down, and so is Tuko. Papoy to follow there, and Kisri finally going to go down as the demo for the red side, but that's the only casualty of this, and the second point will go and land inevitably in the hands of red.
Yeah, the heavy weapons guy and the medic for blue team pushing forward. They haven't thought about this sentry gun on last. The red spy comes to in to try to get a stab here. A little bit late though, as the Uber charge is out, and will this heavy weapons guy be able to push through? Pyro is here as well, as are some other players, as some frags got taken care of on the back line. This spy Tuko going to try to get a sap on, and that actually would be pretty important. But oh no, they don't get it cleared out. The Pyro instantly switches over and is like, oh, I'm supposed to have the home wrecker, not the power jack? And runs back into spawn. That would have saved it.
High time to finishing it up. Now Blues are pushing in, but they're getting cleaned out. Wow. Almost completely wiped off the face of the world by the Reds. Just absolutely no casualties on the side of the red side. And they're pushing in forward right now. Glory is just kind of also trudging in. I like this aggressive Soldier playstyle, kind of scoping out the area and basically checking out for the rest of the team what's going on. If the Soldier falls, it's not a big deal, but it definitely provides all the information they need. They're gonna recap the second point and retain that advantage in the form of crit streak, as they're gonna go and maybe knock on the middle, but there is a hold on that choke point on the side here. Most of the blue players have respawned, and well,
the crits coming in though as they're pushing through lobby. They have lost Shioto though, right about the time where they were going to start getting in the range of the medic. They just kind of continue to push forward, and it's like you don't get huge success with your crit screen, your medic goes down. You might want to pump the brakes a little bit. I love the sentry gun though. Check that out.
Yeah. Neat little spot there, quite aggressive, also provides a lot of coverage, but at the same time it's going to be spammed out very quickly if there's no team to support this engineer. And well, Friday is going to have a little bit of trouble there. But yeah, the sentry goes down just like that. Like I said, 720 takes it down. And as the Blues are coming, Sizzo is just knocking on the door in the second. They have all players overhealed right now. Shoto is struggling to keep them alive. He's still running a crit streak, but he's going to be fighting against a fully charged Uber charge. And now Little Nyar is basically ready to pop it at any given time. He kind of needs to reunite with the rest of the team. Papoy there, also spamming out the back line. He's going to pop the Uber charge and going to chase off some enemies there. And unable to find any kills, but they find the medic. And they be able to find Shoto, but Shoto gets away with his life. For the second point, I don't think... Oh, actually, they managed to hold it.
Yeah, really good kills. The soldier getting a lot done there at the end as well. And just blue team, Saizo overextending themselves here.
A little bit, but the second point is still in the hands of a red. And Instant Reactions are using those reactions to kind of go onto middle point here. As the blue team just respawned, Saizo need to kind of retain this point. Oh, but what a flank there by Friday. Taking down one with...
Yeah, he's got the crits again. It's just pipe still coming out. No, I actually think that there was a clutch reflect of a crit pipe that was rolling on the ground. The pyro air blasted it and changed its teams right before it exploded. Friday is doing some work. He got a Rangold kill there. I saw a bit ago as well. He got a Frontier Justice kill. So his Frontier Justice is going to have another charge ready to go here. The Red Spy continues to put a hampering effect on the blue sniper.
But here is Saizo still in control of this map. It's still controlling the middle point. It's still kind of on the offensive here. But Instant Reactions are not really letting this one go. They're kind of holding their ground and definitely have that crit streak, well, up and ready whenever it's up and ready. However, there is a 100% charge on the side of Saizo. Little Nyar is now getting his players up together and kind of gonna go maybe from the side. They're rotating completely from the round. They know there's a sentry up there by Friday, and they're gonna go around. There's a sniper there, however, Lolomon, but he's gonna run away as he knows that there is an Uber charge coming soon. However, Little Nyar is holding on it very long, and they are able to kind of strong arm their way out of this. However, the crit streak is about to charge up, and well, that can be a dangerous situation for the side of Saizo.
Yeah, lost track of where Shioto was. Had to pull back fairly far. Got disconnected from the demo. They're going to try to push back in here, though. I think come out Shutter here. I keep hearing these crits, other crits as well. Oh, but the Uber charge counter. Textbook. The Pyro's going to be here to be able to air blast. There's not really any stickies that are left. Here comes the Red Spy, though. Gets a stab on the Pyro. And, oh, this teleporter was left. But actually, that heavy weapons guy, as he comes through, can't really benefit from that. So it did look like Red Team were going to spin that around, but unfortunately, the circumstances don't quite work out for him.
And Saizo is still in control. The second point is already theirs. Ooh, their Widowbix taking down 720.
Yeah.
A cheeky stab on the soldier main, but now the Saizo team is kind of moving forward. That crit streak needs to come online much faster and maybe take down Little Nyar here. Widowbix is still kind of being a thorn in the side of blue. But he's being kind of spiked by pretty much all the players there, and he's safe and sound now, but he's still going to be lurking about and still looking for the stab onto Lil Nyar, as that is the most important part. Crit streak is almost at the ready, Eckstein, and I have no doubts they're going to use it immediately as they get it.
Yeah, they're in a very good position for it. Their soldier died up here as well, so they know that the combo is up here. Oh, yeah. A little hesitant on it, and in the end, it's too slow. The Uber charge comes out as well. Oh, great defense of their medic, though, as Kumis getting piped down by Ints. And, I mean, if you trade an Uber charge for Kritzkrieg and nothing happens, and that's heavily in the favor of the Kritzkrieg team, they actually got some surrounding frags just off that whole engagement as well. Clav trying to protect himself from rockets. It's going to be a sticky in the end that gets the kill. Little Nyar has backed up towards second point.
Yeah, and that crit screen is gonna come online much faster than the Uber charge. So like you said yourself, it's kind of like if you trade and then you win with the crit streak, but no, what a headshot there by Lullivant onto heavy weapons guy, and it's gonna definitely slow down that defense by Saizo. Still, there is 0-0 on the clock, and 10 minutes have passed pretty much non-stop octane, high octane action. And they're still knocking on that door. That crit streak is almost at the ready. They have ints at the ready as well. They just need to time it right and spot where the enemies are. But Blues are nicely spreading out together. They don't want to really go all in one spot because that crit streak is going to be deadly.
You got to find this fight. I mean, if you have a crit streak and you just keep backing up, you're just asking the other team to overcharge in your face. The crit finally comes out here, but Blue has really kind of penetrated quite a bit. And he just can't really find any grouped up targets. They needed to use that aggressively onto the medic earlier. Or just, you know, team players.
So far, instant reaction has been kind of clutching the last point, but they were unable to get on the offensive. They're kind of getting those points off the back of a defense, but now they have to fight against a fully charged Uber charge coming out of Lil Nyar. Now they're popping immediately straight off the gate here. 720 is taking some names there. Well, in a clap is falling through. They're gonna take down Shioto. Glory and Magician also going down, and that's gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen. The first point of the game lands in the hands of Saizo after this decisive round. You know, that crit streak was a good strategy, but I don't think it really worked out for them. It clutched a few times, but it's a high risk, high reward weapon, and once the other team adapts, well,
yeah,
basically how it goes.
There's just so much more breathing room when it comes to the Uber charge and the proper execution of it. You know, if you're like, oh, I think we should push with this Uber charge, and then it's like not gonna turn out, you can be like, well, we'll just pull back. But with the Kritzkrieg, like they were like, oh, should we use this? I'm not sure. Are they really there? Let's pull back. And then they have an Uber charge in their face. You just can't do that.
Now, the middle fight is going on. Kisri is pretty much alone by the point. Whitbix is going to find the engineer in the back, but he's going to get cleaned up himself by the heavy weapons guy here. Papoy also quite aggressive, but neither team really wants to step on the point. There's a lot of stakes also laying around by the red demo man here, Ints. And Red seems to be a little bit more defensive yet again, and Blue is on the attack. Saizo is just taking the ground pretty much for free.
Well, again, though, they are running Kritzkrieg versus Ubercharge, and again, they're being very cautious with it after they have the charge ready, and again, you're going to run into a full-on Ubercharge. Shioto's going to go down. If he stays Kritzkrieg when he comes up, they're going to have another Ubercharge when he's ready with a Kritzkrieg again.
Yeah, but Nyar is just doing a good job predicting where the enemies are and where they're going to pop, and he prefers to be safe in story. And of course, if you run into a Kritzkrieg and you have that fully charged Ubercharge, you just need to just use it. You know, there's no bad choice here if you're fighting against a medigun like this. And now the heavy weapons guy, I still think it's Catman. I am not 100% sure. That nickname is weird and it's cut out, but he is as far as I know, he's the captain for the team, Saizo, and now he's just kind of, you can see that he's the anchor of the team. He kind of leads every single attack. You can kind of see that the heavy weapons guy is kind of main calling for the team because he's a part of every single push, and it works out for the team of Saizo. Instant reactions still on defense.
Yeah, instant reactions might be starting to sweat a little bit if this map kind of starts to slip away from them. It's just 1-0, 17 minutes on the clock. They got to start getting forward. Let's see, what medigun are we on? We're still on the Kritzkrieg. And Ubercharge is going to maybe come in to the top left, but it looks like they back out. Not too comfortable with it. Red's lost their spy and their scout. They're getting forward with this aggressive Kritzkrieg soldier. But at what cost? You're going to lose several players. Now your heavy weapons guy has got no heals. The Pyro does get a nice reflect there. Look how many players are down for Red Team, though. Only 3 left standing.
Yeah, the respawn timers are long for the last hold here. The engineer at Friday is doing quite a bit of work. They're slowing them down, but Papoy's already went through, gonna take down the sniper, and he's gonna kind of sticky up the point. Your Friday runs on the point, doesn't block it, but they're gonna lose a lot of damage here or health here. Catman is just taking names right now.
Oh my god.
He's gonna sacrifice
wow.
there. But it seems that the respawn wave is coming just in time to save instant reactions from a certain loss here, and they're going to be able to hold this point for a little while longer.
I am shocked that they held that, and I want to say that it was all because of Glory. Not the first time that he went in with that Kritzkrieg in the lobby, but when he came back there, he had some sick shots to really make sure that that capture got blocked. Shioto, though, going out with just the pyro, going to get cleaned up easily. 720, hits that nice trick, then goes down. But, you know, sometimes you stumble after you do something cool, and that's okay.
You made up for it with that cool play you did before.
Right, yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
wondering if Shioto still decides to run the crit streak, and it seems that he still does. I mean, I do think this is high time for a strategy switch, because so far, I mean, Saizo is leading with that 1 point. They're still knocking on that last door here. Fighter's going to have a lot of trouble there, as majority of the players are coming from that flank here. Papoy also there, but jumping in is Glory. He's going to get reflect by Clav. And now Catman is leading the charge yet again. He needs those heals, however. He's going to get back. No, he won't. And Yara is dropping the heavy.
No.
Clav also running in, taking down 2 people. Shioto is going to get headshot by the sniper. So far, so good. But Nyara is going to get equalized there by Le Magician. It seems that only 3 players alive for the side of blue. They won't be able to capture this point with that many players on the side of red.
Yeah, another kind of surprising defense here from Instant Reactions, as, you know, things just did not seem like that they were going to go their way. Shioto getting sniped down there. But they just somehow find it with some nice tenacious plays.
Red has reclaimed that second point. They only have 15 minutes left on the clock to kind of equalize things, and well, so far so good. I mean, they only lost 1 point, which is good enough, but then they still need to kind of regain 2 more if they want to stay in this and win themselves the first point in terms of maps. So far, both medics roughly equal Ubers, but, you know, there's still critical on the side of Shioto. He's still holding with the team. They're kind of passive. They're waiting for the blue side to sort of make the first move, see where they're coming from. Gonna Suicide tomorrow is, well, peeking, edging in with that sniper rifle, but it's Tuco who's going to take the first kill, and that's going to be on the Engineer. Very good pick, and it's definitely going to hamper that defense.
And he's got the crits, but he's gotten separated from Shioto. He's kind of banged up again, but once more, they're just being hesitant on this crits. And it's finally used, but, you know, you're using it when an Engineer is right in the face of your medic. That shouldn't be the impetus for Kritzkrieg. Kritzkrieg should be built on a foundation of doing damage, not on trying to protect yourself. And the Pyro, very low health, does get the kill, but it is going to be an easy finish off here for Saizo. Players kind of streaming forward, but only players that can delay, nobody that can actually fight it.
Yep, and it seems that that last laser is charged up by the red team. I really like the little things, little like details on this map is kind of amazing to see. There's also Kazatsuki Kick playing in the spawn for each team, I believe, just to kind of get the players into the mood of killing everybody. But so far, so good for the team of Saizo. They are leading with 2 points. We're going to be watching in the next mid-fight here. Popoy once again quite fast, but he's going to be pestered by a little magician. But Kumis is there to help him out there, and he's also going to stand on the point. Oh, huge jump by Glory, but he's going to clean up here. 4 people alive on the side of blue, and yet again, it seems that instant reactions are going to be on the defensive, and they are unable to even capture this middle point.
Yeah, that was a strong mid-fight by Saizo. I mean, you know, you want to get players to mid fast, right? Check that off. But it's like you gotta protect players, and I think the scout got a little ahead of himself. Was like, I'm really fast, and just, you know, kind of ran forward, and, you know, he went down really early. Other players going down really early, and Shioto getting dropped as well. He is on the Uber charge, but with the Uber charge coming in here from the offense, they could be down 3-0. Before they could get their first Uber charge of the game. More players getting in here. Demoman on the point. It is just a sliver away. The Heavy gets backstabbed. 2 players up. And one is the Sniper. Chili going to get taken out. 720. Going to be looking for the star play here. Oh, no. He can't even get through the doorway. Taken out.
Denied there by the Pyro F20 or 120. I'm not sure. 120 is doing quite a bit of work there. He did reflex, has some nice reflex. He denies those Ubers as well, but at the same time, you know, they managed to save themselves the loss of the 3rd point. They're still running, well, they actually switched this time to a Medigun, and it's almost charged, so I think it's going to be a much different encounter this time around as soon as the spy for the team of Blue just notifies Tuco. But now the Uber coming out, they're cleaning up people here. The sniper goes down, XA Red as well. The jumping in is Ints, and he's gonna kind of lock down the blue players between the second and the middle point, and they just stack the middle. What a great play there.
Yeah, it was sort of unfortunate he didn't get any frags out of it. Blue, in some sense, were sort of unaware of what was going on. They are going to be able to get the capture. Blue will just be able to pull back as Sizo and get the retake. Yeah, the Demo Man was sort of awkward because he was bombing in towards him at Choke, and then he put a bunch of stickies in on Choke, and then it's like, oh, all of a sudden you're standing all over your stickies. So even if you were to use them to throw them forward to detonate those, you're just going to explode them on yourself. So it was good intent, but things have gotten rolled back here, and Little Nayar does have an Uber charge.
Gonna be difficult pushing into this, however, because there's a lot of open land, and there's Ints there spamming up that little Choke with everything he's got. Glory's also up there, and there's a sniper, Lolavant, scoping up that area. I don't think that Blues will just decide to go through there. It's just too much spam coming on. They're gonna go through middle this time, and they have that Uber charge ready to go, but that Uber charge advantage that they worked so hard to get is slowly waning as Shioto is about to hit 100%. They're moving in, Catman leading the charge yet again. They're able to find Friday and Lolavant there. However, they've lost 2 players themselves. The Uber charges are now equal, and both medics will be able to pop it at their leisure, however. Ooh, there's a lot of damage being exchanged. Catman leading the charge. Uber's coming out. They're going to clean up the house, and I'm not sure what Shioto went, but he went with the Uber charge as well.
Yeah, he got dropped by Chili, so that's a great pick off. And actually, though, once again, our red team standing strong on the defense against all odds. Glory just jumping in there, able to push players off the point. Int is going to be here to try to stop this capture actually getting finished. And Sizo is a little spread out here.
A little bit too spread out, and Shioto managing to just kind of join the team before even Yar had any players around him to heal. But now everything is good in the camp of Sizo. However, they just lost Chili, I believe, which is the sniper by Witherbix. He's still back there. He's still being a major problem for the side of Blue. However, they still lead with 2 points. They have a comfortable situation and 10 minutes to go on the clock to kind of hold this. Catman, they're on the side of that usual flank he always decides to go through. Is kind of scoping out the area, but that shutter door is blocking the path, is blocking the sight lines. Maybe good for one team or the other. I'm not sure which team is benefiting from this, but there's a sticky trap laid down by Ints, and he's well detonating it. And look at this. Blues are now pushing through. They have 100%, 80% on the side of Shioto. And they're just using the advantage. Gonna try to cut off the red players from that second point.
No. Yeah, it was really unfortunate for him. And actually, the scout running all the way to last. There's just a scout there, or a sniper there. He's gonna be able to have to get this snipe. He can't get it on the point fighting. The scout is going to get it. Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate stuff. I mean, the back cap was natural after that push. But basically what happened was the defending team tried to push out main, which is sort of the, I mean, it looks like the direct point of combat, but really that's this direction over towards the choke. So the blue team was just like, oh, you're just going to leave the point? You know, you're just going to abandon it? And they pushed past them, and then it turned into a really awkward situation after that.
Yeah, Sizo has now led with 3 points. They're obviously looking for more, but that advantage is definitely very comfortable for them right now. 720 is jumping on the flank. He's going to look for the Demo Man. They're going to take the Ints, and Lolavon is also going down, open up those sight lines for the other sniper. K3 also to fall by Chili there. And now this control of the middle point will go to the side of Sizo yet again. Instant reaction. Shioto there stabbed in the bag, but instant reaction is just unable to kind of respond to what Sizo has in their bank, in their pockets. And look at this, they also have 100% in those pockets as well.
Yeah, a little bit of a scattered mid strategy from red team instant reactions. You could tell they wanted to do something different. Ints went over to the other side, but he didn't really necessarily get a lot of support. The Magician was a little bit more careful, jumping on top of the house, but wasn't really able to offer protection to Ints. And then Shioto kind of got left awkwardly, being like, are we on the left side or are we in the middle? I'm not sure. Oh, big snipe there.
Ooh, big snipe on the Catman, and Kumis also to fall down by Witherbix. Those are 2 opening kills on the side of defense. They may be able to get something off the back of it, especially that Lil Niar has 2 less players to kind of protect him from certain danger. They have that 100%, but not anymore. Witherbix gets a drop onto the medic. Great play by the Spy here, and that is the opening act for the side of Red. Instant Reaction will need to use those instant reactions in the name of theirs to take that second point. They are struggling a little bit. Little Magician on the flank is going to take down the sniper, and he's going to fall down himself, but he's opened up a lot of room as well. Shoto's in a little bit of trouble though. He's low on health, but he'll be able to survive this one, and they're going to be able to cap this second point. Eats himself a sandwich. He's all good to go, but there's still a scout behind. Kumis is lurking.
Yeah, they want to deal with that. Again, for at least a split. Oh, no, has to pop the Uber charge. Risky stuff, but certainly if one more rocket had come out there, he was right on top of him. And they're going to push through this main. But this is awkward. This is, again, where they tried to push through before. And Blue's just gonna take the opening and say, okay, well, if you guys are going to try to head towards mid, we'll just push down this right-hand side and try to get in on second. One player for Red gets on mid, but second's going to be capturing faster here if they can get on it. Trying to run in and get a sap. The engineer is able to defend his nest, but Shoto gets away, but sort of disconnected from everybody else as frags continue to come out here for sizо.
Nyar remains and retains that 100%. Yeah, no more Shoto for the side of Red here, and Nyar has 100%. All he has to do right now is just gonna stay safe, wait for the respawns, and maybe try with another push. It's a difficult situation for instant reactions. They're running out of time. There's only 5 minutes left. It's not impossible to cap 4 points in this, but it's getting less and less possible with each passing second next time. It's gonna be difficult for them. They set up a defense onto second, but so far they've only been on the defensive side. They've not really tried to be aggressive. They only waited for the blue team to attack first, and I think that is their downfall for now. 720, huge, amazing surf. I'm not sure if you caught that, but he surfed up the stairs, and he's all the way behind now. What a great play. He just gets skilled by the sentry, but just was nice to look at.
Yeah, I think he actually jumped right over my camera. But indeed, what you're talking about with the aggression also completely factors into the Kritzkrieg. Shoto getting taken out again. Just sort of awkward positioning towards the front of the fight, but without an Uber charge and without a Kritzkrieg. Kikuri, the heavy weapons guy, has gotten behind here. But can't really do anything with that flank. Ends up getting taken out. Just one trade there.
Second point slowly. He's getting capped by the side of sizo here. Catman's again leading the charge. You can see how central to the team the heavy is right now. I mean, you usually see the heavies, especially recently, to be playing more of a roamer side, you know, kind of with the flank or trying to figure out something else. But Catman is still playing that very much a traditional conservative heavy play around the medic, protecting the medic from all the danger, and also kind of leading all the charges, and it's working out so far. Uber is about to hit on the side of Nyar here. Catman's low on health, but he's still on the flank. There he decided to go through the wide open one. Here Ents has to do a lot of work to do something here. Fry getting sniped, so no more Senshi. And there's Shoto healing up Kisari. He needs to keep that heavy alive. They want to control this point. Little Nyar with Catman going all the way behind the point. He's going to get burned down by the Pyro. However, Catman's low on health as well. There's only 3 people alive. It seems that instant reactions will be able to control this point, hold on to it.
Yeah, again, just super strong, tenacious defense from them. They've been able to just get these clutch frags when sizo is pushing into them under these circumstances. A big stab, though, coming out from Tuco. And again, though, it's just kind of getting forward, pushing cleanly, and together with Shoto. At 96% left alone, has to surf away from a huge rocket that leaves him alone with the scout. Those are the circumstances where it just falls apart for instant reactions.
Yeah, instant reactions kind of, you can see how much closer together sizo is playing. Like I said multiple times, Catman kind of being the anchor for the team. For the side of instant reactions, there's not a person like this. I mean, I have Ints, but he's always kind of very far forward and doing a lot of damage, but there's nobody to follow it. And then you have Kisari, who's kind of falling down before action even starts, and then Shoto is left alone. And with 97% Uber charge ready, pretty much, and being alone, the scout is not a comfortable situation. You either get that Uber saw in or not, and you usually don't. It's a 1 in 1,000 situation when you actually manage to hit a scout with a melee weapon and get that Uber charge off. But now the second point will belong to the side of Red. 2 minutes left on the clock, 4 points to go as well. 720 jumping in, trying to equalize things. Gets a rocket onto Shoto. Shoto's low on health. Oh my god, the Uber charge is coming out. Here comes Popoy here onto Ins. He's going to be able to find those pills. But he won't be able to find Shoto as well. Shoto falls down. and I don't think that instant reactions will be able to do anything in this game anymore.
No. I mean, you'd love to see them get a point on the board, but right now they're going to go for another one of those tenacious last defenses. They have 6 players up. Their last 2 respawning in 15 seconds, which is a bit. Little Nyar doesn't have a charge, but they do have a full roster of players alive. Spy going to creep in behind here. See if he goes for further penetration. The medic, I think, did bump into him and decides to flee that top left to kind of chase him out.
He's uncloaked. He's looking for the sniper kill, but he has that. Oh, he gets a gun out and he shoots him down. But we changed the server before the match was over. But I do believe, I mean, usually it's faux pas for casting. Usually wait those 90 seconds in the future. But we kind of knew the end of that game with 3 points up. There was no way Saizo would have lost this. So basically the last 2 minutes were kind of dead time anyway for the side of instant reaction. So what they have to focus on now is to clear their heads, clear their chat. Usually, there's some heated arguments going on after those games or such games, or quite the opposite. People are completely silent and they don't want to talk. And what you need to use in this time, even if there's like 2 minutes left, just relax, chill, just talk about what went wrong, and play to the best of your ability on the next map, because they're not out of it yet, but they're 1 point down.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the open division, so obviously that means this is the players with the least amount of experience in regards to this tournament. It is the open grand finals of this division. So, I mean, these players have come along, but I think that you can see it that, the problems with instant reactions weren't their reactions. It wasn't the death match. It was their strategy. I would say for as dominant as a map that was, what the biggest surprise of it was that instant reactions actually out-damaged as well as out-fragged the other team, Saizo. But that just kind of tells you that it's more about the cohesion, more about the fights that you are taking, where the frags are going, and what you're doing with that afterwards. Catman was pretty crazy with 41 frags. I want to point out, though, I don't know if I've ever seen a number this huge. Maybe you've seen a lot more Highlander games than me, Jake Awadi. 45% heals on the heavy weapons, guys. What's your thought on that?
My thoughts are that this kind of play that I'm seeing on the side of Saizo is very old school. I used to play in the seasons where heavy weapons guy was the anchor, was the central point of every single game, and he was the person that you always fall back to or you follow when they push. Catman is an old school player as well, and he has a very conservative mindset. I've watched his YouTube videos before, and he still is a firm believer that heavy weapons guy it has a lot of potential despite the nerfs that happened to him in previous years. And it kind of shows. I mean, it kind of shows here with him pretty much top fragging. He's one of the best players in terms of heavy weapons guy I've ever seen. But the problem with him is that he requires a lot of heals, like those logs show. He requires pretty much almost half of the heals total for the team. But at the same time, he does the work. So you kind of have to live with the fact, if you're playing as any other class, that you're not going to get as many heals as Catman, because Catman is tanking all the damage for you. So you just play with that.
Yeah, and I saw a little bit that 720 did have the Conquer. I don't know if he was running that actually all map, but that's a good example of a player that doesn't necessarily need a lot of heals. Your sniper and scout as well, you can kind of skimp on that. So kind of spreading the love around, but very interesting to see there. Also, of course, a strong performance by the demo man, Papoi. Also a really nice damage per minute number from him, 481.
Not too bad, not too shabby, and slightly below as well, though he doesn't have the kills that his counterpart has, nor what Catman has as a heavy weapons guy. However, this map is done and dusted. It's already written down in history books, and Saizo has won this. They are in this comfortable position where, they've won one map. They don't have to really try that hard, or there's not as much stress as it would otherwise have been. But at the same time, instant reactions now are in a position where they have to win this. If they want to stay in this game, they have to win this map. They have to win Pro Water, as it's called, with a few changes to a regular Badwater map, and see how they decide to do. I do believe this was their pick in this game. No, actually, this is
no.
quite the opposite. Instant
Right.
Reactions was the team that actually picked Kalinka, and they've lost 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
And now Saizo picking Badwater Pro, it makes me think that Saizo is kind of ready for this. This is their comfort pick, and they will be trying to take a decisive win on this, and it's certainly possible.
Yeah, and I certainly think that that first map was something that we needed to see more out of Shuto and Instant Reactions. To pick a map like that is maybe a little bit more unusual in the scene. You would think that that means that they have a lot of confidence in it. On the other hand, I mentioned the other day that it seemed like they had some issues on King of the Hill when they were playing Kalinka the first time. They were just super dominant. This time they got challenged more. It seemed like they had to put together their strategies. They did have strategies that they were trying to utilize. They were just a little bit clumsy about that. My point being, though, is that, well, if they're more comfortable on Badwater and more comfortable on Barn Blitz, the strategy was a big factor in their loss in the first map. And we'll see if a map that, generally everybody just plays a lot more in Badwater than anything else on Highlander. So they should have a very strong understanding of what to do on this map.
Let me do this map from another side, because payloads are a very much Highlander / pub game mode where you have just one objective that you have to push all the way through, get all the points. There are certain very simple rules, but in general you have always that one point you have to focus on, and that is sort of a crutch for teams that have a trouble kind of sticking together and having a strategy of working together, because you always have an objective to work towards rather than a 5CP, which is just an open map with a certain points. But then again, you have so many different avenues of how you can reach that point. It's a completely different kind of map, especially with Koths as well. Koth is just simply one point. You have to win in terms of DM. You can have strategy, but DM is very important, whereas on payloads, you can have DM, but if you don't work together and you don't focus on the point, you're not gonna get it. You can get all the kills in the world, and you still can lose if you don't push the cart. So that's kind of a crutch for, I think, Instant Reaction that they can use, since they had a little bit of a trouble in the 5CP to stick together, get a strategy. Now they have one point they have to focus on, and if they do that, they should be fine.
Yeah, I think so. We'll have to see how it rolls out here. Again, though, this is a best of one. So just kind of a straightforward one shot at it. It's going to make things a little bit more stressful. We definitely talk about momentum, mental states in TF2. And I don't know, payload, usually that BO3, you're just so much more able to kind of like shake it off, settle in. And I'm not sure if every team can really kind of respond in the same way, to just this being a best of one. Some teams do need that kind of time to get rolling on a map.
Yeah, and this is kind of like why I love Team Fortress 2. I've been playing and watching Team Fortress 2 for such a long time, is that even though you're playing the same exact map over and over again, this is not a definition of insanity, quite the opposite, because you get to see all these players with different mindsets, different preparations, different amount of experience, different ideas, come together in a team of 9 of individuals, trying to gel out, trying to get those kinks and work them out, and then sort of work together towards a common goal, which is the victory on a certain map or a certain match or a certain league or whatever you decide to do. Like you have different leaders, and they also have a very significant impact. Like I said, I do believe watching from or seeing on the match page, Catman is the leader for the team, and it kind of shows, because Catman is a very much a serious, very authoritarian leader, but it shows up. It really shows, and you sometimes, when you have a team that is kind of, funny, they want to have fun together, you kind of need a person who will just simply give you the kick you need in the behind. Because if you don't have a player like this, you don't have a person like this, not even a player on your team, then it's just all gonna fall apart at seams. You need something to hold you together, and for Saizo, I believe it's Catman. I'm not sure for Instant Reactions who that person is, but we'll definitely see that leading player, that MVP, soon enough.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point, though, because, you sort of can feel that in instant reaction, you know, where it just kind of seemed like there's nobody that's grabbing the situation by the horns, as we say in America, and just being like, we need to use this Ubercharge or this crit screen right now. Like, pop it on the demo man, go around the corner, you know. There's a little less urgency in that sense. They had the super tenacious and strong defenses, you know, and that's just kind of like the desperate instinct mode. You know, every single player is just like, oh my god, we have to save this, we have to stop this, you know. But when it comes to, you know, a strategy, you're right, like it does take one voice to be able to kind of really dictate what the team is doing. And sometimes you get teams that, you know, have been together long enough, they have the cohesion that, you know, you maybe have a core of players that all have the understanding of, you know, what to do, what the game plan is. So
yeah, I mean, it's definitely something they need to work out. This is why we're having this long break to talk about, well, the ins and outs of competitive Team Fortress 2. I believe we've been on the side, both sides of the camp, so we kind of have some knowledge about how to spectate, as well as how inner workings of each team really do. I mean, I do believe you have a team on your own.
Yeah.
So that is definitely some insight coming into this game, and also like the reason for why this break is so long. You always kind of want to use the break time that you're given, even the maximum if you need it, to clear your head, talk about strategies, and basically just get a common goal. Because if the team didn't really scrim before, you just tell them, okay, this guy does this, this guy does this, and we do this. And we need to have call names as well, because if you just tell, okay, heavy, soldier, pyro go left, or go cliff with me with the medic, it's much slower than you say, okay, I don't know, cliff rush, and then all the players who are involved in that rush cliff with 2 words. It's a completely different mindset. But now we're getting ready into this game, because both teams have readied up. Now they're setting up. I do believe the side of instant reactions are going to be defending first, and then blue side, which is Saizo, are going to be attacking in this game here, Eckstein.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I think that, you know, momentum-wise, this is a good position for Saizo to be in. You know, they crushed that first map. They're feeling themselves. And we'll have to see here. Badwater was exciting last time. We saw these teams on here, instant reactions. Pretty sure that they held it down excellently. And I want to see it again, but, you know, just it'll come down to execution.
It's all in the execution now. But boy, will be getting ready to jump with his friend Soldier, as well as a Pyro, I believe. I'm not sure. No, Clav is well, he's running just a regular secondary. He's not running the jetpack, which is used by V-Clocks, another legend, to get those forces out of Shioto here. But Shioto is sitting on the health pack, so it's a pretty good spot, a little bit open, especially if the demo jumps. But there's no jumps, no sacrifice waves so far. They decided to go out of the gate immediately with Lil Nyar here on the side. Catman is also leading the charge. They're not wasting much time. Popoy, they're also kind of edging and inching his way forward. X and Kumis already pushed the cars so far forward, but Nyar getting dropped there by Porter, the spy, and that entire push has kind of slowed down and came to a halt. However, the cart has been pushed incredibly far using that distraction.
And I love actually just a little bit of shotgun from underneath, trying to get that sentry gun, as it's just kind of a little bit over the lip there. Blue Sniper has gotten taken out by Lol Levant. And yeah, this is a very strong start for instant reactions, as, you know, all the boxes are checked. You know, sentry still up, check. Ubercharge ups, check. Scout on the cart, dead, check. You know. Oh.
Your Magician, however,
yeah,
getting their DM by X-Red, but he completely forgot about, hey, wait a second, there's a sentry up there? And he gets killed, however, the cart is already quite far forward here. Suicide tomorrow, aka Chili, takes down the sentry, which opens up a lot of room for the blue side to push into. They still have the Ubercharge Lovelon getting sniped, however, by Chili yet again. Chili's doing quite a bit of work, and using that distraction, Kumis is pushing the cart for the first point, X-Fine.
And Shioto on the Ubercharge now. Oh, gosh. The same thing I was going to compliment him on now actually completely backfires. Gosh. I was going to say he had a spy in his face, and he was like, nah, I'm not going to pop. He was like half health, and like a soldier rocket could have come flying in or something. And he was like, nah, man, nah, I'm not going to pop. And I was like, okay, that's tight. And then, yeah, and then all of a sudden, the demo man goes down. All these things where it's like, no, that's when you use it.
It's crumbling like a stack of cards right now. Lolavon quite far forward, getting pushed out of second point and third point as well. They didn't even have time to set up on third, and third is known to be one of the hardest points to push in Highlander history, period, I believe. And now third point had to be given away just for free, and well, instant reactions, and not having those instant reactions really. Oh, but Tuco goes behind and takes down the medic. No more Shoto available for the side of red, and they're still defending last. 100% almost onto Lil Nyar, and they're pushing the car with everything they've got. There's no sentry up and running, and instant reactions are in a very bad trouble right now this time. Very bad.
Yeah, certainly. This map has just gotten away from him. It's so unfortunate. They had such an awesome start. They do get a drop. Little Nyar, surprising, the heavy weapons guy getting credit for that. So they might actually be able to post up a defense here. It's just kind of a desperate situation because the cart has gone so far that they're going to need a really, really solid hold on last. But it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Definitely not. They managed to kind of stabilize themselves. Shoto has that slight uber advantage over Lil Nyar. However, Nyar has been known to kind of build fast, and he has a lot of players around him, and also utilizing Catman as that sink for uber charge and charging it faster. Slowed their offense a little bit. However, they are moving forward. Porter there finds a kill onto Chili, so no more sniper. Opens up a lot of sight lines for the red one here. They're pushing it slowly but steadily here. Nyar getting a little bit spammed out by the soldier. Keystri is walking forward. He's going to get destroyed there by Catman. The Catman is moving forward as well. Exa Red just surfing away from danger. Porter coming in, looking for a stab on the heavy, but he's going to go down himself. And a nice headshot by Lolavon onto Exa Red. It's just kills being exchanged, but not much else. Card is slowly rolling back, and that's not the situation Blues are looking for. Kumi's walking onto it, and there's sentries not watching it currently. He's pushing it far forward. Uber's up on the Lil Nyar. No Uber on the side of Shoto.
Yeah, Shoto just getting back up and then getting stuck on the pole there. And this is getting unfortunate. Little Nyar's Uber charge is about to fade here. It's coming out from above, and actually things are looking okay here. Demo Man versus Demo Man fight. Inst still staying alive. Lolavant trying to snipe the Pyro off cart. Not going to be able to do so. And there we have it, actually. 446. It was pretty sick. Man, I've had conversations. We talked about our experiences on team. And there's just this thing where it's so easy to point the finger at the medic. You don't want to just instantly be like, it was the medic's fault. Definitely. And I think that when you have a Kritzkrieg, it's not really the medic's fault when there's this apprehensiveness of when to use it and whatnot. The medic does have to pop it, but it's a team effort. When it comes to the Uber charge, a situation like that Shoto had on the cliff, there's no excuse for it, for dropping a player, and then being by yourself and having nobody to pop Uber charge on. That's 100% on the medic.
Yeah, I mean, medics usually are not responsible for the mistakes of the team, but sometimes, like in this situation, it was definitely the responsibility. Like I always use the football, aka soccer analogy. Medics are the goalkeepers of the team. If a goal is scored against your team, it's not always the goalkeeper's fault. I mean, he can do everything in his power to stop it from happening, but in the end, it's, there's defenders, there's mid laners, there's strikers that could do work themselves, and they didn't, so something definitely went wrong, and now Shoto will be on the attacking. He'll be trying to recuperate this loss for his team as well. Mince is moving in already on the cliff. Kistry will be able to find the spy, and also Chili going down the side of red, opening up a lot of sight lines. They're moving in, they're not wasting any time, and they know this. They can't waste time moving into this. Ints, however, is low on health, and so is Gory. Here, Ints needs those heals. Popoy is jumping in. He's looking for those kills on the side. So aggressive, but he gets out with his life. Glory is on top of a rock right now, and Kritz is coming out looking for the medic kill, but Nyar has Uber charge, and he's very, very aware of what's going on. Popping Uber charge just in time, killing out everybody, including the medic. Now, Kritzkrieg didn't work out yet again. I believe it's a time for a strategy change next time.
Yeah, the only thing shocking about that Kritzkrieg was that they attempted it. As, you know, it's just kind of one of those, like, you know what you're going into. You know you're going into an Ubercharge. You know you're going into a Wrangle level 3 sentry gun. You know, unless you can send bombs and get that pop out first, which, yeah, the clock is ticking. But it's just a very excessive attempt, use of firepower to just try to blast through that Ubercharge. Here we get the stab on the Engineer and the Sap, though. And little Nyar is going to flee. Does go out through Roof's side, so we'll be able to fully escape. But the charge is on here from Instant Reactions. Good coverage on that Spy as well, getting the kill on him. They're going to charge over the second point. They're going to need to keep charging, particularly this third defense, and then get a solid push in the last. Shioto close on a charge here.
Ubercharge, yes, is ready for on the side of blue.
No, it's a Kritzkrieg again.
Oh no, it's a Kritzkrieg, and the Ubercharge is about to hit 100% on the Nyar as well.
And they're getting ready to use this crits here, but again, it's just going to be a little too slow and also hesitant. Like, he had an opportunity to fling the sticky out. Instead, they're going to walk up on the left-hand side of a yard here. They're going to go for the full. They're going to come out of lower. Why would you come out of lower with this? Oh my God! He gets stabbed. Sure. That's what you deserve.
Whoa!
I'm sorry. I usually don't talk like that, but that's just ridiculous.
I'm not sure what's going on in the mumble on the side of blue, and for instant reactions, I'm 100% sure we wouldn't be able to understand any of it. But so far, it seems that sizo is just holding on strong. They have Ubercharge, they have a sentry, and they're not even falling back to third. They decide, okay, we're making our stand here on the second. We have the advantage. Magician falling down, Kistry as well. Porter getting pilled there by the demo man. And then Popoy is alive and ready, getting those heals from Nyar. Nyar's doing a fantastic job keeping everybody alive. However, the Blues are strong-arming their way in. Here the Pyro is going to get cleaned up. Shoto is low to hell. He's going to run away. Ubercharge came out of Nyar, however, which will give a sizable advantage in terms of Ubercharges, I mean Kritzkrieg, onto Shoto now. The cart is dangerously close to the second point. However, there's only 1.5 minutes left on the clock. The conch is coming out, or the buff banner. But the soldier's gonna go down, so no more of those buffs available. And so far, stalemate yet again. And that Kritzkrieg is ready, but you're just wasting time at this point.
Yeah, they need to get in here with it, but just haven't been able to find the route. Now they're able to actually come down tracks a bit. Oh no! He drops it. Pap Oil with a very nice pipe right into the midst of that. I think there was some other damage coming in as well, but you could hear that sizzle. And, okay, no, just a little bit of lag. Excuse me. They do get the capture on the second. I was worried that they'd, like, flipped the server over already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it happened before. I hope they iron this out. But, you know, with regular Ubers, I believe you had a catchphrase back in the day X time, pop it, don't drop it. With
I'm wearing it.
Is pop it, then drop it. Because it's kind of the theme of the game where right now Kritzkrieg is no longer in play. However, Shoto has decided to switch off to a regular medigun. They're pushing the cart with everything they've got. They have 20 seconds left on the clock. So far, it's just going to be for the logs at this point. Seems that Red is not really putting up a defense anymore either. They're just kind of hanging out and spawn right now and taunting around the sentry. But that win is truly deserved for the side of sizo. They've won this fair and square. And, well, they will be looking to win another round on PL Badwater, which will give them the victory in this finals.
Yeah, that was pretty well done by our winning team here, sizo 17. Instant reactions. You know, this map particularly, it just really came down to that Kritzkrieg, you know, and the Ubercharge defensively. Like, right at the start of that first hold, it was like, awesome. You know, they've kept their sentry gun up and you know, their whole everything was going well, and then just letting players die, and not using the Ubercharge until they're all dead, you know. And then offensively, Kritzkrieg is just not really the best move.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the Kritzkrieg is fine, but it's a surprise factor that really gets people. Once they realize they're playing against Kritzkrieg, and then knowledgeable spies will always check the medigun on the other medic. It's very easy to check. If you check like say 15 or 10 seconds before the game starts what medigun are they using, you can't be prepared. And if it's a call, okay, they're going through cliff with the medic, you simply pop Ubercharge in their face and there's nothing they can do. There's a bunch of shiny players that are invulnerable, and you cannot do anything against that with that Kritzkrieg. It's a nice little strategy, but it doesn't give you extra damage against sentries either. And it just makes me wonder what was really the idea behind this, whether they wanted to kind of lob a Lucky Sticky onto the medic Lone Yar, or maybe get the engineer. Anything would be good in this situation, but in the end it really didn't do anything, and it was a waste 1.5 minutes off the clock, just kind of trying something crazy in a finals, no less.
Yeah, I want to make one other point that I wanted to say just about the Kritzkrieg and their aggressive pressure there. I was going to make the joke of, like, did these guys not watch the Star Wars prequels? Like, do they not understand that you just take the high ground and then it's over? Like, the second time that they tried to push as well, it was just that thing of, it's like, if you can send any of your team through roof, right, you might as well just send your whole team except for your sniper. So they sent 3 players, and then they went all the way over on the left-hand yard and then tried to climb up those stairs. They were trying to avoid the fight that can sometimes happen at the top of those stairs there. And then they just got backstabbed, flanked. It was real sloppy. It did not work out so well.
Unfortunately, Shadow also has a few things to work out himself as a medic. I mean, like we said, it's just kind of a goalkeeper of the team. Using your Kritzkrieg is kind of crazy strategy. Can work out, can not work out. It's very high risk and high reward, and so far it's just been too risky for the team. They have 1 round left to recuperate, maybe figure something out, but seeing how sizo plays and how little mistakes they make, and this is pretty much the most important thing. If your team is making mistakes and the other team doesn't, your team will lose. That's just fact. If your team is on the offensive and the other team is only on defensive, that other team is going to lose because they never attack. They always brace for the impact and they never try to go on the offensive. And eventually the attacking team will punch through the defense, will punch through all those trenches that the defensive team has made for themselves, and will win because simply the defensive team is just not brave enough to do something about this. So now sizo is leading in this map. This is, I believe, the match point of these finals, with instant reactions needing something crazy, needing a spark of hope for them, because they are on their last legs right now. They're at the match point for the other team, and they basically have to win every single game from now on. It's not impossible. It has happened before. We've seen games like this, not just Team Fortress 2, but it will require a mountainous effort from the players on instant reactions to achieve something like this next time. It's gonna be difficult. It's not impossible, but seeing how sizo plays, how little mistakes they make, I'm not sure, not biased, but sizo, I think they have this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they could make some adjustments, but at the same time, there's only so much adjustments that you can do in a short period of time. Sometimes when you're trying to learn, you're trying to grow a lot, you have to realize, like, okay, like, I'm done for the day. My brain is full, and you just need to take a little break and slow things down. I think they can make some adjustments. I don't think it's too large of a step, but it is some sort of drastic stuff in terms of, if you guys are going to use Kritzkrieg, you have to just use it,
Yeah. Back in the Nations Cup, how Poland played, and they've tried a lot of different crazy strategies. They've tried Vaccinator, and it really worked out. They've tried roaming heavy, and it worked out. It was just so many crazy strategies all at the same time, so unusual for Highlander, that it just worked out. The Eurotunnel reward, which was pretty much unheard of and was considered a trash weapon, super made it work. And it really benefited the team as a whole using that unlock, because it was just so crazy that nobody knew what to do against it. While Kritzkrieg is one of those weapons, I think Vaccinator is just such an underrated weapon because it's too difficult to use, and considering how many things are happening at the same time, medics opt not to use it. It's just simpler to use a medigun. It's more reliable. You don't have to worry about too much. You don't have to rotate through or cycle through all those resistances. It's all good. You have you have just one Uber, but charge is long, but it's just one Uber, and you can share, and it's all good. Vaccinator, however, is such an unlock that not only nullifies an Uber charge, you can share it. You can switch resistances, so you have double resistances, you have 4 Ubers basically, and it completely nullifies the crit streak, as it basically just eats up all the crit damage that would have otherwise been done, and it heals your medic. There's so many appliances of that weapon that if there's a medic in Highlander that actually knows how to use it, aside from Grabba, it will just be a huge unlock and probably a revelation, because it has so much potential to fight against pretty much anything as long as the medic knows how to use it.
Yeah.
That was a long one. That was a long monologue, Eckstein.
Yeah, that's all right. And again, though, we are actually going to be moving forward here. So since this is the grand finals, we will be going into best of 3s.
On payload at least, right? Because this is the match point as I am, well, as I believe this is the last map, or this is the last round of this game. The first map went to sizо, 1-2-0, 3-0 in total on that map, and now it's 1 round up for sizo. Instant reactions pretty much on their back, fending off those attacks from sizo, and not really doing a good job at it so far, but there's still 1 round left, and this time around they're going to be attacking first with sizo defending, so we'll see how it goes. Sentry is going to be pretty much, I think, in the same exact spot as is custom. How InstantReaction decide to do this, it could be a long or a short game, I'm not quite sure. What's surprising, however, with both of those teams, Eckstein, is that neither team really goes for those early sacrifice waves. They immediately go out with their medic and try to use the Ubercharge as soon as possible, see what happens while the rest of the team is pushing the cart. And roughly the time is similar between having sack waves and not having sack waves, but I think it's pretty smart, because once your medic gets out with the other medic being dead, there's a lot of time that passes, and now we're getting into this. Now Shoto is moving with the rest of the team through the cliff yet again. They're not waiting for those sack waves. Ints is taking quite a bit of damage there from the enemy team. Shoto is trying to keep him alive there, but Friday is going to go down. Glory is spamming up the sentry, but it's being wrangled, it's being sentryed, it's being wrenched. That's all good. Ints getting the Uber charge pop onto him. Shoto getting blasted away, and that Uber charge is pretty much gonna end up with nothing achieved, with 100% onto Nyar still.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, and they have switched gears, going from that crit streak to the Uber charge. Again, though, not maybe fully grasping or executing the concept of a sack wave, though. Really, with payload maps, when your Uber charge is back at your spawn, you're just getting this map rolling. There's really no reason why not to just send a few players in, do a whole wave of demo men, soldiers, snipers, trying to get a pop off. It didn't really happen, and Little Nyar still with a full Uber charge, and we still have a full level 3 wrangled sentry gun up here.
Very good hold there. Oh, Kisry's just gonna go down by Catman there. Conch has been popped there by 720. He's doing quite a bit of damage and quite a bit of trouble on the flank as well. Cliff is still occupied by the blue players. They almost hitting that 100% onto the Uber charge. They all have their heavy weapons guy with them. Ints is kind of forging his way through. Glory is doing the spam, but it's being all reflected by the Pyro Clap. Doing pretty good job. They've also lost Ints there before the Uber charge has been popped, so they just have to wait. The Uber charge, however, coming out on Kitsry. The sentry has gone down. The counter has been deployed as well. They're waiting for those situations. Glory is up there as well. He's such a long time he's available. He's gonna take down Cloud. How did they ignore him?
He almost had that health pack as well. If he was just another inch or two over, he could have grabbed that, could have kept fighting. This is pretty strong here for instant reactions. The spy trying to get in behind the medic as well, but the wrangled gun pops him out, trying to put some damage over there. Porter going to go for another look at it. Blue players kind of kept out of tunnel, but they're winning the fight on hillside. Should be swarming down here, finishing off these last couple players, getting this capture on first, and not a terrible time. I know that's not a
durable diamond. They managed.
Yeah.
They managed. It's all good. The Ubers are about equal. They're pushing onto the rooftop already. The car is still being pushed forward. So it's all good for the side of blue right now. Instant reactions aren't moving in forward. They're about to hit the Uber charge just slightly before, but this difference is just so negligible. It doesn't even matter. In the grand scheme here, Chili already scoping in. Such a good sideline for a sniper. Your Shoto going into the open right now is he's gonna go down there by a body shot from Chili. However, the car has been pushed. 100% is retained onto Niar, and they will be able to hold on to third without too much of a trouble. They wiped out the other team, including the medic. No more overcharge. They have to basically spend another minute to get it up.
Yeah, in terms of baby steps, I mean, this is still pretty solid here from Instant Reactions. This is sort of one of those circumstances in a payload map as well, where they're not going to get too slowed down by the fact that Shoto went down there. They finished that capture on the first push in. Now they're maybe got to tighten up a little bit more. As Glory just gets stabbed, that's going to encourage the scout to push into the medic here. They've lost a few other players. And I was going to say that Uber charge doesn't make too big of a difference because you can just build while you slowly push the cart forward. Porter of the Spy did get a stab on the engineer and a sap on the gun and the back line, but that cart is just standing still for now. They're going to need to find some players to get on there and start pushing it forward. Ubercharge out here from Little Nayar, so things actually do continue to go pretty well here for Instant Reactions.
Yeah, I mean, on the paper it does look pretty good. They managed to take down the engineer and his gun from up top. However, there's still plenty of red players on the third point. They don't have the Ubercharge anymore, whereas Shoto does have his, but he needs to just stay alive before he pops, and he does. He goes immediately straight forward with Inst charge again on the Vanguard. He's going to take down Catman, looking for Niar. He's getting pushed away by Clav. Clav is going to survive this one as well. But Inst is doing so much damage, and however, third point will have to be let go by the red team. They're still holding on to it. Still so much damage being done by the Popoi. He's just kind of staying behind, making sure that the damage is done. Tuco's there as well, taking a nice stab, but the point has been capped. 4 minutes, 47 seconds, respectable time, and still last point to go. Instant Reactions are finding these wins in their sails.
Yeah, they have to be a little bit careful here just because they don't want to get too aggressive and be like, yeah, we're doing good, keep pushing that car, keep going, and then just have Shoto drop down. Shoto also as well, you know, being very paranoid about the spy, but you want to leave that stuff to your teammates just so that you can keep your heals going, your Ubercharge building. There's been a few times where he's kind of been chasing other players or trying to throw weird arrows out instead of building. The cart actually shoving towards the corner here, and they get the kill on the heavy weapons guy. Catman taken down as Little Nayar was a little too far away. Catman's going to be upset about that one, I'm sure. This is also going to end up putting Little Nayar into an awkward Uber with only Clav here. If Instant Reactions can back up and keep their players alive, they need to keep Shoto up here very low. But will be safe around the corner. Pyro charging forward. Oh no! Forces the Ubercharge off. Shoto was at 34 health. The sandwich hadn't come out there. I think had no choice but to do that. We'll get just a little bit of a flash of that Ubercharge in on the point. Shoto's got a scout down there. And the Soldier 720 jumping down, dropping in. Use a skateboard term. And X-Red on the cart fighting. The engineer, though, just has the dispenser up, has died again. So that is unfortunate for the defense here. Le Magician with that Lucky Luke green hat jumping around on the scout. Jumps down there, gets Catman, and then able to run away on the stairs. At least acting as a distraction. Yeah, still fighting. Can't get it in the end. That was good from Instant Reactions overall, though. They've certainly opened up this offense.
Yeah, they did take down all the defenses. Exit Red is now building another sentry in spawn right now. And the card is slowly rolling back. They just need to touch it, so it's stopped. Glory's going to work on it, I believe. No, he's just still waiting. They're not really realizing the card is rolling back. They need to stop it from doing so because they're just wasting precious time at this point. Now, 50-60% on to both medics pretty much here. Nice stab by Porter to Chili, opening up the sidelines yet again. However, Tuco is equalizing things with a kill on the other sniper. Kisri is moving in forward with the Pyre as well. He's being aided by the medic. Shoto is moving aggressive. We're just gonna push this one in. What's going on? Where were the red team?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
I am bamboozled, flabbergasted, and confused at the same time, Eckstein. I think there's just a lot of kills coming down, just random kills one by one. Sizet was just throwing players at a mass of blue, and in the end, they just lacked the players. I saw them all in spawn,
Yeah.
and
I mean, that's what
nobody was available.
Yeah, that's what I was curious about. I mean, it seemed like those players must have just come up, but I think that they sort of written it off already, and certainly instant reactions were pretty far in there. They put up a pretty solid time there, 7:15. I mean, that's certainly defensible. Their first hold was only 4:40, but at the same time, it was just such a disaster after first wrapped up. You know, so if they can get a similar start to their initial hold, and then be able to kind of actually get some sort of defense on 3. They don't even have to do much on 2. And all of a sudden, you're looking pretty realistic that they can actually hold this whole time. So, will be interesting to see. And as well, if Little Nyar and company, if they pull out anything different in their offensive push here.
And we're gonna see if there's any suicide drops, but there's no suicides yet again. Nyar is out of the gate with the rest of the team. They're pushing the car with everything they've got and moving down the long path up the hill right now. 720 spamming the sentry. Tuco is the first victim of this encounter, the spy for the side of blue. They're gonna go and spam that sentry by Friday. But
wow.
Nyar, however,
wow.
This is why you're trying for those sack waves as Porter finds a kill on Nyar.
Yeah, that was a really lucky stab there. I mean, just lucky that everything worked out. He was able to survive enough damage. And in the panic, Little Nyar showing his back. It's such a huge stab there. Good confidence boost for instant reactions as they start their defense. They've lost their sniper to a stab as he was watching the tunnel. Not too big of a deal, and they got to know the spy's going to be close by the nest. They clear him out. The sentry's coming up. Friday does pull that gun up right before it was about to go down, but then he gets taken out by some nice stickies from Pap Oil. Not safe in that corner.
They're still going down the long way round. They're losing Catman, however. They're losing Papoy as well. Little Nyar needs to get out of the situation. Uber's coming out of the red, but there's not a lot of targets for him to kill with that. And it's going to basically give the side of blue a free Uber charge advantage. They're still holding, however. K-Street there, watching the tracks with the rest. Glory there as well. Tuco's trying to cause some trouble. He's gonna, well, I thought he's gonna get away, but he's not. He gets destroyed there by the soldier. Kumis and Exe Red are pushing the car. Times 3 on it right now. Glory is alone versus 2 hit-scan classes here. Now, Kumis decides to get out of the situation, but he is distracted long enough for the side of blue to do something with his. Nyar is all by himself, however, being chased by the Pyro. Ooh, he just jumps in. Little parkour going on. He escapes the Pyro with 100%. They are able to use it at their leisure right now.
And the cart very close to the capture. The spy looking like he might just come over here, decloak. Sniper's got to be heads up about this. Oh, no, this defense has been good so far. But with the soldier coming in and the spy there, they get the capture. Red team's going to have to awkwardly back away, and Shioto gets taken out left by his teammates. So it's unfortunate losing Shioto, but they have gotten some frags on the cart to try to slow things down here. And the engineer is going to be trying to build on roof, which is pretty unusual. But at the same time, we'll have a teleporter exit. Oh no, just sapped out. That could have been helpful.
They need to get Shoto up there. Shoto doesn't have really many players to heal right now. Only Lullaban and Porter there behind. Jumping in is 720 on top. Friday's low on health. He's going to get shut down eventually. The point has been capped, however, and that top defense is a reason why nobody builds up there anymore. It's because it's so easy to spam, and as a result, third point will have to be basically forfeited again. Given away for free here. Shioto is in a little bit of trouble. He doesn't have anybody to heal. He has basically just been standing still and healing the sniper, and that is not a situation you want to find yourself in. Porter finding a kill there in behind, and Papoy also getting destroyed, so it's going to slow down the offense a little bit, but that 100% is undeniable on the side of Nyar, and they will capture the third point without too much of a defense coming out with 4 minutes to spare. However, here comes Porter, and he gets the stab onto Nyar. That's a hero play if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, the second drop from Porter on Nyar. And in the meantime as well, Int's getting some really good damage on the cart, kind of further just slowing down this process here. Friday will have a sentry gun completely set up. He actually doesn't have a dispenser out yet. And I like this spot that he's put his sentry gun in. As long as 720 doesn't spam that down.
Yeah, he's now behind jumping from the back. Oh, double jump there on the other side. He's jumping for the engineer. He's going to get shot down by Kisri there. Not much of a problem for the soldier. Here coming in is the blue side. However, they don't have the overcharge, but they're pushing in dry, looking for kills. They're taking down names as well. Shoto is deciding to still hold on to that overcharge. We'll see if that works out for them, but there's only 4 players he can potentially Uber. History and the Pyro are among them, but Friday is gonna get spammed out. Nobody is there to stop the top balcony from being
just
occupied.
Use it, just use it. Oh.
And Shoto dropping in the heavy. There's only Pyro available. The little Nyar is about to hit that 100%. It's gonna be perfect situation for the side of blue.
Yeah, unfortunate for him letting that heavy weapons guy go down. The Pyro down as well as the supercharge comes out, and it looks like they're charging forward. 5 players on the cart, 2 of them shiny. That's gonna be the capture, and now finally the real GG as Saizo take this best of 3 on Badwater. Also taking that first map, Kalinka. Strong play by them.
Very decisive victory there. Saizo is just absolutely dominated the entire game. InstantReaction had some flashes of brilliance, but in the end, it's just Saizo's general preparation, strategy, control, and cohesion is what really spelled out the victory for them, and is a very well-deserved one as well, as they are the champions of the Open Division in Highlander Russian leagues. Well done for them, and of course, before we really do sign up here next time, I believe we have to take a look at the logs, because they do spell out the truth. However, they will have fractured logs from the last round, I believe, only. Somebody combines them.
Yeah, not sure if we got any ballers like that in the house. Yeah, let's take a peek at that.
The last round at the very least. And Lolavant with 14 kills, 9 deaths to his name. Puko second. Porter, despite 2 amazing drops, he didn't manage to clinch the victory for his team either. Though I'm not sure if it was Whitbix who played last round and Porter subbed in for him, or is it Porter all along? But nevertheless, Porter really showing himself in that second round, in the second map, very well. You know, getting those stabs and just being a very general nuisance, which what you want to do in any game as a spy here. It's heals very similar. Nyar slightly more than Shioto. However, Nyar has jumped twice. However, in the end, you know, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, because Saizo clinches the victory, take it over. You know, they take the first place medals for themselves. I'm not sure if they're gonna get in-game ones or it's just gonna get in-game ones.
Oh yeah. And we know everybody loves those in-game cosmetics. Makes people go wild. I know I got a few things I'm showing off on camera real quick. I don't know. Crate depression, but not everybody was depressed about it, you know.
No, I was pretty happy about it, crate depression. And also, you know, how I got into competitive as a whole is that one time I was playing on Hightower, and I spotted a guy with a medal I've never seen before, and it was like a first place medal, and I was like, damn, I want one of those, and the rest is history.
And here we are.
Here we are, like 7 years later.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for everybody joining us today. We had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun. You know, TF2, always a good time. Huge shout out to the Russian Highlander organizers. There's mid-level, there's their invite coming down as well. And, well, I've got a pretty busy week coming up here, so I don't think that I'm going to be able to do any more coverage of this. We'll see if we slip something in there, but there might be some coverage coming up of this tournament and other sources. Hopefully look out for that. Also, of course, want to give a huge shout out to that Moscow LAN, which my boy Jake Awadi, as well as other members of the Crits Krieg crew, are going to be in attendance at. And also mention that there was a documentary that'll be real cool. So many cool people from the Russian community that have been involved for a long time. And then also, of course, end of the month, the I-Series LAN, Insomnia 65. That's going to be huge. A quick shout out to the Essentials.tf fundraiser that's trying to help Ascent NA, as well as just further raise the prize pool. That is being conducted through Matcherino.
Yeah.
Let me dig that link up real
Believe
quick.
you muted yourself next time.
What? I muted myself. That is madness. I got some bind on Mumble. I gotta watch out here. Thanks, Jake. But yeah, anyways, the match of Reno. Let me give I pasted that in the chat. So please check that out, ladies and gentlemen. We're up to 374. Let's push that to 500. Let's go. And Jake, any final words from you, my friend?
No, it's just it was a pleasure as always casting you, Eckstein. It's just an amazing game. I'm just really, really happy. We're seeing more and more of those local leagues popping up. We just finished the Polish Highlander one. We've just finished, well, the Open finals here, but the Russian one. There's just so much more talent coming into the scene. It's just so refreshing to see, and of course, if you're interested in what I have to say, and also coverage of Moscow LAN and future incoming LANs, not just TF2, visit our social media, of course. I'm gonna post them somewhere, definitely. Also, Eckstein is probably gonna also shout some out, but we're pretty close together, pretty tight knit.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so you're able to find. I mean, if you look for Jake Kawadi online on Google, there's only one in the world.
Yep, for sure, for sure. Okay, awesome. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, Jake Wadi, again, huge shout-out for you joining me today. It was awesome having you here. And, well, that's going to do us, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am Eckstein, and we will see you guys next time. Peace out!